cards as your placeholder. And here is my beautiful Aries goddess that we are helping to reserve Savior energy. Today we're going to be reading about the Aries in love. Oh, I'm feeling a little drawn to this Sufi wisdom, so we'll give that a whirl at the end as your oracle clarifier. But we're going to talk about your person, how they're feeling, you, is there anybody new, that sort of thing. So this is I believe the Witch's Tarot. Sometimes I have a crap ton of decks and I don't know all the names for them, so please forgive me. But I will link all of the decks here and all of the decks that I use in the description box below. Guys, guardians, and spirit, give me discernment to read clearly. Boy, you guys got a story to tell right now. To understand clearly and to hear that information clearly. All right. Your person wanted 4 cards, and normally I like to do 3 for you, 3 for them, and 3 for what's coming up. Holy business. So I've done 2 other videos so far. And Aries people, your energy, like this deck, I haven't had any jumpers. So you guys are just one to let me know what's going on here. All right. So in regards to your person, this is their energy or what they're sort of dealing with. I don't like to be like, oh, you could be dealing with this, you could be dealing with that. There are other ways, descriptors for these court cards that have nothing to do with like, oh, you're dealing with a water sign or a fire sign or whatever, because the collective is large. You could be dealing with any astrological sign. So, what we got here is the Fool in reverse. When the Fool in reverse comes in, the Fool in reverse is a card where we're repeating the same negative patterns over and over again. And this may have been your person, and it feels like you tried desperately to help them to understand their negative patterns and how those patterns were affecting you. Now, normally my Aries people are very fire pony, but once they find, I mean, that's a quote from Rambling Mike. I love that, where it's like, you know, you come in all hot and heavy, and you know, you're really attractive and really attracting to many people. But once you find your people, once you find your person that you're like, oh, this is my ride or die, this is my person, you are very connected and committed to them, and you'll do anything that it takes to protect them, even from themselves, and to give them all of your effort and energy. So in this case, it does seem like you, with this Page of Wands here, you may have been offering again and again to protect them from themselves, to help them to shift this pattern, but your offer wasn't well received. You were viewed as the page. You were viewed as someone who didn't necessarily know what they were talking about, didn't have the skills to help or heal, didn't have what it took in this person that you were dealing with in their mind. Though, if we notice, the page here is the only one on your person's energy that comes in the upright. So you were the only one, because we have the Sun in reverse and the Four of Cups in reverse. So you are the only energy that comes in its upright. And I know some people don't read reverses, but I do. So now at this point, the sun, your person is feeling like, oh, the sun has been removed from them. You were their sun. You were their right track, their right path. And now in the reverse, it's like, oh, that energy is stagnant, delayed, going cold, or now I see that that was my right path, and I don't know how to get back there. With the sun in reverse, there may be no getting back there, and that's not necessarily because your person doesn't want to come back, but it's because because the world is on your side, you have closed this cycle, and you have closed out feeling like the page. So the Four of Cups in reverse, that's usually an emotional stalemate in the upright. In the reverse, it's like all the water has fallen down. So you may no longer be at a stalemate. They may no longer be at a stalemate, but your energy is removed. So like they have finally come around and recognized or realized what you have been saying or trying to communicate to them. But at this point, you're like, I don't care. Let the water fall out on the floor. I don't care. Like your pleas are falling on deaf ears. You were not in a place of understanding before, and I get that. But I've exhausted all my patience here. I also, it's interesting because I don't normally read this card like that, but some of you may have been dealing with someone who had a severe drinking problem, and now they're recovering from that issue, or they're trying to put the bottle down, because this is really someone who's like drunk on their own emotion, and they see that like they were doing it in the physical sense though. So sometimes when we can't sort out our own internal crap, we externalize it. So if we can't sort out our emotions, then we start drinking because it's like, okay, I need to numb that, but I also am trying to, in this action of numbing, I'm trying to figure things out. I'm trying to sort things out. Like my body is going to act out the thing that I can't internally do. But that removal of your energy really like gave them a bit of a wake-up call. Like they can't suppress certain things with drugs or alcohol, and it feels more specifically about alcohol because it's cups. They can't suppress that. It must be dealt with. So for you on your side, you are really not feeling this person that, I don't know why you're thinking about them if you're not feeling them like that, because the world is here. The world is a completion of the cycle. But it's also, for me, I love this card in some other decks I have where it's like people are partying. It's like everything that you want. You know, lots of people read the world as the closing of a cycle, and I'll read it that way here. But it's the closing of a cycle because you are stepping into something better. It's not the closing of a cycle because you're like, I have nothing left here in this pattern, which is also true, but it's very clear, like, I have nothing left here in this pattern, and I am better than that. The Seven of Wands and the Five of Swords here tells me that there is some defensive energy about this person that you're thinking about or dealing with. So it's not, it's interesting. You want to leave them out in the cold, and you will, but you're also really defensive in regards to them. Like, you have no time for their bullshit. You're very shut down when it comes to them. You may still have love and care for them, but that is not reflected in your action. And I feel like that has a lot to do with protection. Like, Aries people, you're fiery, passionate people, but you're also really soft on the inside. So, you know, it hurts you to see the person that you care for hurting. And also, you're not willing to continue to watch them hurt themselves and to be hurt by them. So that's kind of where all of this is. That's where you are, and you're not feeling it, and you're not doing it anymore. So the Queen of Cups is here. Often the Queen of Cups is a representation of a water sign energy. It's coming up feminine, but you know, there's no gender in tarot. So this may be a new person coming in, but this to me more feels like the mutual love between the two of you, like it's still there. You may be leaving them out in the cold, the Five of Pentacles, and you are going to remain single and prosperous. This Nine of Pentacles is here, which tells me that you may be on the prowl, but you're on the prowl for like not a relationship until that person proves to be valid and valuable in your life. Everything is very slow in the love department, but you are picking up in the money department, which is great. Do I feel like this person that you have in question is going to come back around? I don't think that you'll ever get, if it's this person, I don't feel that you'll ever energetically get rid of them. Even if they move on, you'll be the one that got away. But they are going to be reluctant to reach out because your energy is so harsh. And it's not without just cause, but that's where we stand right now. I'm going to pull 2 cards from the Sufi deck. Please offer my Aries people the wisdom guidance that they need to hear. Oh, we want one more shuffle. I think these larger cards like to be shuffled in a different way than the smaller cards, even though I can palm back the ball and shovel them normally. I think they just like a different shuffle. Beyond the ego, and that's more in your person's energy, and fine wine. This is funny. So your person gets the information of surrendering to the flow of life, but this is also a little bit for you. And this is like a changing of the seasons, or an understanding that some people are in your life for a reason, a season, a lesson, or a lifetime. And really having the clarity with that, right? So it's really sitting with like not what this person did or what they put you through or any of that. It's like, what did they give me? Even if that was a lesson, it was valuable. And you paid. You paid for it. Whether it be in actual money, blood, sweat, and tears, emotional turmoil, honey. You know, people, you paid for it. So you can either choose to lower the ego here and say, all right, it's not like, was I good enough or this or that, but what did I learn here? What did I get from this? And how can I be better? But this instance, this relationship, this connection also really offered that energy to your person. It's like allowing them to lower their ego, to experience that shift. I don't feel that they're moving on so quickly. Will they move on? Eventually, because you're not going to give them the time of day. But they are going to sit in this energy for a minute before they do. I also get fine wine here. Fine wine, longing for the portal to wholeness, but it's more than that. It's like the acceptance that you get when you're moving into your crone phase or your older years, where you're just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, you can go, I don't care about these tiger stripes. I don't care about these stretch marks. I don't care that I'm like not, you know, driving the newest car, whatever the case may be. Like, what, you know, with guys, like, I don't care that I have the biggest muscles or the most money or whatever the stereotypes that we hold ourselves to. Fine wine allows you to recognize that your aging is with grace, and it's not like, even in the sense for women, because women tend to be held to a different standard of beauty, that their gracefulness is really showing, and that aging is making them look more youthful. That wisdom is making them appear more stable. And so maybe you got a gray hair, you found one. I certainly have found one or two. But overall, this is talking about aging with gracefulness and allowing that whole energy to be displayed, and not necessarily having a whole lot of concerns about what people are thinking and feeling. And this goes for you even if you're a young person. This goes for you, because if you're at the stage where you're like, I don't give a crap what XYZ thinks, or this person thinks, or that person thinks, you will age even more gracefully as you approach your mid-30s, mid-40s, mid-50s, mid-60s, and so on and so forth. Let us all age like, you know, Betty White, who's still out there getting her life. So thank you, Aries people. If you liked this reading and it resonated with you, you can always join me in the extended, where we'll talk about any new people that are coming in, what you can look forward to in money, and you know, if your person does come back around, have they changed? Thank you, Aries people, and hopefully we will see you next